Hello and welcome to this late afternoon taste challenge. I know I sound bad because I'm getting over a cold, but it's breaking up, thank God. So I have two Kentucky straight bourbon whiskeys. This is Evan Williams. It says since 1783. Well, truth be told, is really since 1955, but this little half-size bottle was $4.99. This is charcoal filtered, sour mash Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, aged 3 years. This is the what people call the Evan Williams green label. And they're so proud of this. They're so proud of this expression. They don't even list it on the website. You get on the Evan Williams website and it'll say our whiskeys, our bourbons. This doesn't exist. But I bought it in a store and I know where to find it now in the big liter glass bottle or the plastic. So it does exist. Okay. John Mallory, cheers. Jay, yeah, cheers to you. Thanks for watching. So here is Colonel E.H. Taylor small batch, introduced in 2011 as a line extension of the Old Taylor brand. But actually, Old Taylor, there's the Old Fire Copper Distillery, currently known as Buffalo Trace Distillery. Real cork. This brand, Old Taylor, the original Old Taylor, was introduced in 1887. 1887, and you can still find it. Well, some places. I haven't seen it in Louisiana, but I'll be on the lookout for it because I might have overlooked it. In fact, I could call Buffalo Trace tomorrow and simply ask them on the phone, where can I find Old Taylor in Louisiana? And they'll look it up and tell me if they can get it for me. But I do have 18 unopened bottles of bourbon, so maybe I won't call them. So you can see the E.H. Taylor Jr. small batch is a little darker copper. This one's more amber copper. Show you the website. They just redid their website a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks, maybe not that long ago. All right, so there's so many variants of, and they don't even mention Old Taylor, but it's around. There it is. No age statement. It is bottled and bond, which means it has to be aged at least 4 years. It's mash bill number 1, which is low rye. They say it's for who's heading toward advance, like you got to have training to drink a bourbon. But really, the only training you need, the only training you need is to go to the store and buy it and drink it. But you see, they're trying to create this mystique, this like mystique culture of, oh, that's a beginner bourbon. This is an advanced bourbon. Of course I drink it. What they're trying to say is I'm advanced. But really, in all truth, that is a joke. If you're over 21 years old and you never tried bourbon in your life and you say, I want to start tomorrow, and you tell me, I got a lot of money, I could buy the best one. You do whatever you want and you don't have to be advanced. You could just buy it and try it. Okay? Don't let the marketing department trick you into thinking you have to buy 1,001 bourbon so that you can learn how to drink it. You know what I mean? No, I mean, like, why are you always telling me something? Like, you got to tell me something. I say Evan Williams got this. I say Evan Williams is going to get killed, but we're about to find out. Yes, sir. So if y'all agree with me about this advanced versus novice bourbon and how that's a bunch of hogwash, let me know. Now, when I first started trying bourbon and other whiskeys, well, yeah, I did buy the beginner ones, as they call them, because they were cheap. I didn't want to pay a lot. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't because I thought, oh, I don't think I can handle the flavor. It's too much for me. I'm so young. No, it's just like I don't want to pay a lot. I figured I'll start low and go high. That was just my whole approach. I'll start with the cheap ones and go higher. It was nothing to do with, oh, I have to get myself integrated. I have to get used to it. That's laughable to me. Same thing with beer. When I first started drinking beer with my beer drinking project in February 1996, I was buying regular stuff like Schaefer and right next to it buying craft beer like Simpatico, really dark. It's like a dark, I don't think it was a stout. It was like a really dark ale or something. I mean, I had to get used to it, but it took me like, half the can or bottle to get used. We used all bottles back then, really, for those kind of things. All half the bottle to get used to it. So I thought it was but back then nobody really mentioned those kind of terms like a starter or beer. They would say cheap or expensive, yeah. I forgot to do the aroma. It's a little bit happening, it's a little bit of oak, a little bit of candy corn. Look, it's got to be the Evan Williams because it's nice. Evan Williams is nice, but it's simple, You understand. You dig what I'm saying. You catch what I'm saying. This one, more like deep wood, saturated wood, saturated with whiskey. All right, taste. It's weird, because you would think, well, considering the price of Taylor versus the price of Evan Williams, I mean, I can get a full size liter. I mean, a liter is more than full size. I can get a liter for $9. Well, last time I checked at that place, which I'm not going to name, no, but I can get it if I want it. So you figure that's the cheapest doggone bourbon around. Basically, yes, that's right. One of the cheapest. However, well, actually might be the cheapest in Louisiana, but however, it doesn't really taste inferior and it's not really like worse. You see, I'm supposed to be on here talking about, oh, it's getting killed. This is a joke. Taylor's whipping it like it stole something. But then I'm tasting it and I'm like, not really. Obviously, that's what I want to say because then it helps me out. Well, actually, this has the deep charred oak. I think this is the Taylor. Deep charred oak. But the funny thing is, the proof's not really shining through because your true colors come shining through. So don't be afraid. All right, I got it down, boogie down. Um, I'm surprised the cat hasn't attacked the legs yet, Jay. She's calming down, it seems. No, she's not calming down. She's not calming down. It's just right now she doesn't feel like doing it. A little while ago, she felt like doing it. And she was running under there, under this desk. And I was like, get away from the wires. No wire hangers. She was driving me crazy. But now she kind of wore herself out with all that running, and now she's getting tired. But I don't want her to get too sleepy because when I go to sleep, she's going to want to wake me up. Because last night at 10:30, she was trying to wake me up because she wanted somebody to play with. I was like, I have to go to work tomorrow. I'm tired. I have to sleep. And her attitude was, well, I slept all day. I'm ready to play, so why don't you get up? That was her attitude. If you want to get techno, I'm ready to go. And furthermore, I'm not really interested in your work-related problems, such as needing sleep. Because cats tend to be self-centered, even more than people, I think. Okay. Advanced, novice, advanced, beginner. You could drink this one if you are experienced. And have you ever been experienced? Well, I have. And let me tell you, this is the Taylor. Now, this one, you could drink it if you just started drinking bourbon. And you won't get shocked. And you won't get dismayed. And you won't get intimidated. But in reality, if you don't talk about the marketing, you could drink either one if today is your first day trying bourbon, and you would probably love both. And if you look on the Buffalo Trace website, they got some that are like for super advanced. You got to be like an advanced elder, a 33rd degree bourbon drinker, a past master of bourbon drinking to drink this one. But in reality, like I just said, you could start today drinking bourbon and try that, go straight to the top and try it, and you'd be like, oh, this is really great. Well, the real reason they don't want you to do that is because they want you to buy everything below and up the scale, you see. They want you to put this mindset of, I got to start at the bottom and go up so I can prepare myself, meanwhile buying all their products instead of jumping straight to the top. But really, you could do it any way you want. You could start at the bottom, then go to the top, then another bottom, and then another, not quite the top. And then, number 3, and then, and then meet in the middle. Or you could go bottom up like I'm doing, or you could go top down. It's up to you, really. That's a fair analysis. Thank you. Thank you. And I am unanimous in that. But like, I heard somebody say one time, I dig a pony. Yes, you heard me right. I dig a pony. Syndicate anything you want. I kind of hold at the bottom for financial reasons, says Robbie. You can hold at the bottom and you don't even have to be ashamed of that. Now, some people want to shame people like, oh, I don't know how you could just drink Evan Williams all the time. You need to be a man. You need to man up, bro. You need to buy this $200 bottle of whiskey if you're a real man. But I know you're not a real man because you don't smoke the same cigarettes as me. But really, you don't have to feed into that. You could just be satisfied. Hey, they got people in the world, they satisfied buying the green label Evan Williams, which the company is clearly embarrassed about because they don't even put it on the website. Oh, they put it on the shelf. They distribute it, but they don't want to acknowledge it. Does it have good qualities? Well, it has a lot of good quality. I just finished going on a rant about how it's really not that much worse. If one should say worse, I'm not saying it's worse. I'm saying it's not to the level of Taylor because it's a different type of product. Um, I mean, yes, obviously, when you taste these, there's a clear and present difference. One is more elevated, one is more gourmet type of thing. The other one is just more like mass production bourbon, but still it's good. If I was looking to buy a cheap bourbon, and in many cases I have been looking to do that, I have to admit, but I might go with Evan Williams number one. I might go with Evan Williams number one. I might go with Ancient Age number two. I might go with number three. I might go. I'm not sure. I think I would put Evan Williams in the first. Well, Ezra Brooks, they keep changing their product. You know, it was like 86 proof, then it went to 90, now it's 99. So I don't know. But Ancient Age is solid. Benchmark is solid. McAfee's Benchmark is solid. But it's up to you. But I could buy Jim Beam, but that's a little more pricey. You say Jim Beam is pricier? People are laughing. Isn't Jim Beam like the cheapest stuff in the world? And I'm like, no, I could come walk with me. Come walk with me, and I'll show you really cheap bourbon. Oh, man. All right, so that's it. The clear and present winner is Taylor, which every time I drink Taylor, it makes me think of the Planet of the Apes. But I feel like if you said, what am I going to find out there? Then people would say his destiny. He's going to find his destiny. And then I would just respond like, damn you all to hell. But anyway, last comments. I have no problem sticking with Evan Williams. Their green and white label 100 proof is amazing. Oh, yeah, the bottled and bond. Oh, yeah, that's a real secret weapon there, boy. That's a secret weapon there, boy. I love every episode of Jay's shows. I try to keep track, says John Mallory. You do try to keep track? Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate people watching. You see, when I started this channel in November 2010, I thought, well, if 5 or 6 people watch, I'd be happy, you know, because that would tell me that some people are interested in what I have to say. And it was more people than I had estimated. Or I didn't estimate. I just thought, I don't know what's going to happen. I'll just see. You know, it's not like an enterprise, like I'm trying to do something, like I'm trying to accomplish something. I just said, well, I can make a video, you know, and tell people what I think about beer. Other people are doing it, so what the heck. So anyway, all I want is you. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, but in the morning, no, but really, but honestly, in the morning I raise my head and I'm like thinking of days going by. And the thing I want out of life is